We're going to pull a card. So go ahead and close your eyes, just filling into that space of complete gratitude. Gratitude for the uncomfortability, gratitude for the things that aren't going right, gratitude for the things that are hard, and that may we be strong enough and trust that we're being guided to sit with them and move with them. Gratitude for all the things that are working and moving, and trusting we can continue to uncover our shame, the things that people said about us that are not ours. They're not ours to claim, and that we can reclaim our misfit light, our most true self, so that we can give it back to the world. All right, let's pull a card. Here we go. I love when I close my eyes and I'm connecting, because I don't ever really know what's going to come through. And I love, oh, these are great. These are great. Okay. I just love so much because there was this part that I just kind of heard like, girl, it's a party. And there was this sense of, I think there is so much that when we are in the thick of grief, when we are in the things that make us feel most alive, that's the most interesting thing, right? The things that are the hardest for us to do, putting ourselves out there, trying, grieving a loved one, grieving somebody who passed away, grieving people that we've lost those relationships or no, grieving past versions of ourselves, putting our hat in the ring and not getting the thing this time, or shifting because we're like, I got the thing and then realize like it's not even the thing that like is in my highest, or all of that we make it so heavy and it's already hard. Like it doesn't, like we don't have to add to that. The thing that we're experiencing, we can experience it with levity. We can experience it and sit in that comfortability. And also, right, everything is a duality. And also be like, man, I fucking feel alive. I feel alive. And I know that that's so hard when we're in those spaces, but just offering you that in whatever way that pierces you, whichever way that comes through for you, of there still is so much beauty in those spaces of being, in between that rock and a hard place. Because I know there is a lot of that. And I think equally there's a lot of this blooming energy that's happening for people right now, that kind of building on that 2020 energy. And so I really love these. Okay. So I pulled 3 cards and I'm wanting to figure out how I want to, actually, I think this is good. Okay. I pulled a series of 3 cards and I was figuring out how I wanted to deliver the message. I think we're going to do 1, 2, 3. If you have listened to some of these card pulls, in the beginning of November, I pulled the mirror card from another deck. And for me, the whole month of November was the goal of really pouring into myself, of becoming a mirror to myself. What does that mean? How are all of the people in my life showing up for me as a mirror? When I say that, people are like, I don't know who I am. I'm like, tell me the 5 closest people to you and I'll tell you exactly who you are, right? That those around us mirror for us either what we're wanting to work through, what we don't want to see, what our shadow self is, the things that can come through for us. And so I got the mirror card again, which I think is really beautiful. And it just says self-reflection, writer, and big picture. That I think as you're sitting through, while we're on this hiatus, write this down, the idea of the mirror. And what is the mirror showing to you? Both good and bad. Sit with that. What does that mean? Because then that pulls up this second card, which is the blessings and curse card, psyche, self-love, and beauty. Do not be ashamed, not of your thorns or of your flowers. So it's that same idea, right? If we have a mirror shows us everything, which means it typically shows us both light and dark. It shows us the things we love about ourselves. It shows us the things that we're ashamed of about ourselves. And that's that same idea. And then some of us even get in this place where not only are the things that we feel, this is so much, again, about my teachings of the misfit light. How many of those things about yourself, you don't even feel comfortable stepping into the things about yourself that make you feel good? Because for me, it's that the Christian guilt, or the feeling of like, well, don't stand out, or don't do this, or don't do that. But then at the same time, growing up singing songs in church of like, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. So that mixed messaging that you receive when you're little, that's confusing, but you're not little anymore. You are welcome to participate in both, because everything is 2 things at once. It's never one or the other. It's never one of the other. It's not niching down. It's not new and improved. It's not that even though marketing in the world and Instagram and all of these things want to tell you that it's one side or the other, it's not. Right? It's like take a lesson from, all of your queer and non-binary friends. Everything doesn't have to be one or the other. That we have created this idea that everything has to be one or the other because we are uncomfortable with the idea that two things can exist at once. That I can comfortably celebrate both the parts of myself that I'm working on. Again, this mirror card, right? What are the things that I'm working on? What are the things that are being revealed to me, both of my blessings and my curses? That we are able to balance both of those energies at the same time. And in fact, that's what it's all about. Okay? That's what it's all about. How can you, it's not even about balance. Let's introduce the new word of harmony. How can you create harmony with both of these things together so that they're working? And then that way, it's like some of the most beautiful art is created from that, right? We always talk about all the time that some of the most beautiful, prolific songs were about like heartache or grief. And also some of the best, hi, Miley Cyrus, party anthems. Party in the USA wasn't made from a sad place, okay? And we're all the better for that song. So the idea that these, both the blessings and the curse, this is your self-love. That's the beauty. That's where that softness comes in. But we can't get to that part until we allow ourselves and those around us to be a mirror to us. So those two cards work in tandem. And you guys just know that I love that this card, because this is the sweet oblivion card. It's okay. I don't know what I'm doing either. Uncertainty, fate, and humor, which if this is not my card, I don't know what is. Okay. It's also the number 40, which is interesting because the number 40 is very significant to me. So this is definitely my card. Okay. So this is also, I love this idea where it's like, it's okay. Nobody knows what they're doing. Stop believing that. Nobody knows what they're doing. Stop believing in that. Stop. Nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody knows. And that is so much of what holds us back because it's like, well, I have to know, or I have to explore, or I have to. No, you don't. Because that's not real. The only thing that really is real is typically that there is both light and there is both dark, and in both of it exists within you. That you're going to make mistakes and you are going to make some of the most amazing discoveries when you stay in that place of looking at yourself as a mirror, looking into the mirror and digging up all of those things for yourself. What are all of those parts of yourself that want to reveal itself so that you can step into the things that really are for you, so that you can step into this potency? Because all of that is there and all of that is available to you. And so I just love this so much that she's just like she's sitting in like a cup of coffee, this like cosmic like cup of coffee. And it appears as though she's like holding like a cigarette like this, but there's not a cigarette. And just what would the smoke would be is like more of this cosmic smoke. And there's butterflies, again, this idea of transformation, and there's some spiders and some cobwebs, right? Again, representing what are the things that you're hiding? How can you create this transformation? I also love that this coffee cup has a chip right in front, not on the side, not anywhere else. It's right in front. And yet it's like, it's the idea of like, it can still be beautiful, right? That's the Japanese teachings of like wabi sabi, right? That it's like, in fact, things that are broken and put back together are the most beautiful, right? So this idea of like, it's just the sweet, sweet oblivion, baby. It's all uncertainty. That this idea of fate or what is meant for you, again, it's like you are the co-creator. You get to decide. You get to decide what you want to step into and what you don't, right? That's not negating, again, a higher power, whether that's God for you, whether that like the universe, however you define it, right? But it is a co-creation. You do get to decide. And how can we leave space for that humor? Because you know that I love to. Because nobody's getting out of here alive. And as much as I feel so incredibly certain of all of the things that I feel so incredibly certain about, so do most everybody else who may even have a vastly different opinion than me. And that's hilarious. That's hilarious. So take a little bit of the pressure off. Take a little bit of the pressure off, right? It's like there is nothing in life that is perfect. There's nothing in life that is permanent. And you can't fuck it up. You can't fuck it up. You can't. Even if right now I've got some friends going through some really tough shit right now. And you could look at it and go, yeah, it looks like rock bottom to me. All right. Bottom just means you get to sit down. That's all that means. that no matter where you are, it is life, right? I think I said this recently where this is a Buddhist teaching. I'm stealing it. Pete Holmes said it recently on his podcast, of you do not have a life, you are life. Meaning all of these things that you keep taking with you, again, all of these blessings, all this curse, all of these things that you keep saying, well, that's why it didn't work out, or that's why this is hard for me, or that's why all these things that you're taking with you that aren't yours, that other people said to you, or even maybe let's say that they're things you did. How long ago? Was it today? I think we can let it go. I think we can let it go. It's safe to let it go. That you are life. Even if you're sitting on that rock bottom, even if you're teetering on it, or even if you're crawling your way out of it, or perhaps you're like me, where it's like, okay, now we've got the 6 years of foundation. Where are we going next? Because with that, we're still going to have to keep looking at this mirror. We're still going to have to keep looking at the parts of ourselves that feel scary. We're still going to have to keep looking at these things that maybe don't feel so good. And you want to know what? Sweet oblivion, baby. It's okay. Because nobody knows what they're doing either. And that's it. That's it. I was like, I could go on, but I think that's it. And I think what a beautiful message to leave you with, because here's what I love about it, is there's not like a sweet, like cute little bow on it, right? And it's not like, okay, so see you next time, like it's the most real, raw reality, which is like, it's ever evolving, it's ever changing. You get to decide, and what is that transformation?